It's been received very well. We built it 5 years ago, 14,000 square feet. It's got 42 motion cameras. It's temperature controlled. I mean, state of the art for museums. We do a lot of entertaining here during the fair. We do a lot of entertaining year round. We just had a huge event that had 200 sit-down dinner upstairs this last Saturday. Night before last, we had 100 sit-down dinner. So we're kind of cleaning up from that. So I apologize for not being totally ready to go as far as a big tour.
To have a fundraiser upstairs. The only thing you have to pay for is the hard costs. You don't have to pay any rental in the building if you're part of the museum. That's what we had Saturday, the Sikhs, and you'll see their exhibit here in a minute. The wall. But this is what really did it for us. This is the latest, greatest thing, and it's called touch screen technology. Everybody on this wall is pictured right here below. And if you're a family member, a loved one, or just a boxing fan, and you want to see, this is a popular one, if you want to see Mac the Knife Foster, who was locally born and bred right here locally. He fought Muhammad Ali in 1972 in Tokyo, Japan. You just hit this.
Mac Foster, winner of 30 out of 31. Ali has only lost
The whole fight. So every person up here, their entire championship bout, win or lose, is basically on this touchscreen technology. It really brings people close to what you're doing. And last year, I had a call from my docent up here about 7:30 at night. She said, you need to come over to the museum ASAP. And I go, well, I'm busy putting out a fire right here. What do you mean? She goes, I need you right now. She panics a little bit. I said, what's the matter? She says, the entire Mac Foster family is here. Ooh. Some of them had never seen this bout. Some of them that had seen it live wanted to relive that time of their brother, their cousin, their uncle, whatever. And the whole area was full of 2 rows of chairs. And they were all sitting here in tears. And when I walked in, they started clapping for what we had done for him. And then, you know, they were grabbing my hand and kissing my hand. And they just said, thank you so much. So when you get responses like that, you know you hit a nerve. You know you did a good job. Okay. Schools come through here. I always say to the schools, how many know what a mini mart is? Well, they all raise their damn hand because that's what they've been raised around. That's their culture. Mini mart. Go, you know, that's where you get your milk. That's where everything happens. And we said, well, this is a mini mart back in 1853. And the old saying back then was, if we don't have it, you really don't need it, because you have your medication. This is probably one of the nicest pharmacy exhibits that exists out here on the West Coast. And thanks to Dr. Jack Rustigan, he's the one that supplied us with that before he passed away. But you pick up your mail, drop your clothes out, purchase clothes. If you had sporting goods, anything you needed was at the old general store. All these screens you see on are always on when we have tours in here. I'm not going to turn everything on. It takes 40 minutes to turn it on, turn them off. But this is all the original stuff right here.
This is the original from the courthouse?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I never was in that one, so.
I mean, the original clock, the door, everything. And trust me, every piece in there is hard because it's all hand carved. It's not plywood. It's not pressed plywood. It's not cheap stuff. Headquarters. Beautiful. Firefighters, another partnership. Great exhibit. We have the first ever 1917 Seagraves, totally to Black and Fijian. I call it the Armenian Elvis of Fresno.
That's the same.
This was a car that was in his living room. I was able to get that, and then after he passed away. The reason we try so hard to make sure all the cultures, the major cultures, are covered is because we have over 80 different cultures right here in Fresno. We're one of the most diversified counties in the country. We are the most diversified fair. In my opinion, I've never seen please wash your hands in the livestock barns at other fairs in 5 or 6 different languages. So One of the exhibits that covered the community culture area was the Mexican Americans right behind you. It has 3 screens on each side. All 3 screens are going with a different message on every screen. So when we have kids come in here, school kids, they come up and they line up. They come under the parabolic sound cones. So I can stand here and I can hear what's going on here. It doesn't conflict with what's going on here or here. But there's 3 and 3, so there's 6 different messages going at once about the Mexican culture. And they go everywhere. From food to vaqueros, you name it.
Who put that together?
These folks just came in 2 years ago. This group right here, the Japanese American, have been here since day one that we opened. And it goes into Chinatown. The area that we had across the street here at the fairgrounds, the detention center back in the 40s. So it covers a lot of the stories. This is very, very well done. High dollar, high tech, and lots of artifacts. He's the #1 money winner currently at this time. So we've got him over there. This is an Armenian exhibit. This is probably one of the more elaborate exhibits that we have. This will be its 2nd year. All touchscreen technology. The Aronian family raised about $100,000 to put this exhibit in. Dr. Barlow from Fresno State came out with a lot of the information. But you can do, again, the touch screens here at the base tell stories about their culture, their families, their churches. It's a PhD in early Armenian history for Fresno. We've had publications come from all over the United States just showcasing this exhibit because of the Armenian culture. Very, very well done. Had the vision to take all these and restore them, or store them, and then we restored them. So that's pretty nice. This is the one that was featured this last weekend, and just tons and tons of people. Now, you'll come to the fair this year, hopefully, and come back and see us. Right in here will be a 7 or 8 foot, I'll have to look at the plan again, glass Star of David. So that the Jewish community is going to be right here in the center of this building, this room. This exhibit will be completely taken out, and we'll go from that wall to about here. Here, or about a foot here. They received a grant the other day for like $88,000. So they want. These are touch screens like we have upstairs for the Armenian exhibit. These are for local people that have played a big part in our history. Again, when we have school kids come in here, they line up here because the kids are very, very tech savvy, a lot more than I am. And these are really kind of cool. They have the list of people on the left, and if there's somebody that you know or that you're a relative thereof, you hit their name. Tom Flores with the Raiders. We have a story on him in English, Spanish, and Mono.
Super Bowl winning football coach. Fresno born and a graduate of Sanger High School.
See, there's Soroy. It'll flip across here. If you're listening to this, they want to catch your attention to touch somebody else after this is over.
Buffalo and Kansas City, retiring.
The neat thing about the museum is we change it. It's never done. It's never completely done. We always are growing, changing, and evolving.
That's available.
Don't have a lot of space available. To be honest with you. It depends on how much that we're talking about that you want to exhibit. There'd be half of that wall in the Community Culture Center. We could possibly work something there where the Italians are going to end from that point to the door. Depends on the economic strength that you folks have to get the work going. But this will be in by fair time. That's our goal and objective, to have everything in by October 1. Actually, in the middle of September, so we have enough time.
And now they're doing
Goes more toward the front door.
create a space there at the end of the table. I mean, there's different ideas. It just depends on what you have that you want to showcase, what story you want to tell, or what direction you want it to go. And it doesn't mean that that exhibit has to be that way forever. You could come in and say, this is what we're going to promote this year, next year we're going to come in and do this, and the year after that we're going to do that. So there could be a timeline of events to come. All these cases turn on all the way around. The screen's going, they have heritage talks. You know, you can have all the memorabilia in the world, you can have all the pictures and all that good stuff, but unless you capture the pioneers that lived that time period and capture them on video, once you get that, then you complete the circle. So there's like 15 or 16 people on that tape, and it's we call it Heritage Talks, and it won a national award. And we also have the same thing for the county museum. 42 cameras in different locations. This temperature control deal is really expensive, but you got to have it.
Right. So it's not only just the cost of putting these things in, but there's also a maintenance cost yearly that each group has to pay.
And it's all predicated on the size.
On the size.
So if you have a big size, it's a little bit more expensive than smaller.
Basically square footage or?
Yeah.
Okay.
17 minutes. It goes from saber-toothed tigers to high-speed rail. So the schools that come in here, they'll come in and they'll take seats, they'll sit on the floor if they're small enough, and they get a history lesson just that quick. This area snows, it rains, it's lightning and thunder, airplanes fly by. I mean, it's